Hello everyone, my name is Michael Young and welcome back to Exapunks. So I want to take another swing at this because I feel that, well, our past couple solutions have not done very well. And I really want to knock this one out of the park as a chance to like rebuild my confidence moving forward. Because I don't think we're at the halfway point yet. So let's make a new solution. And I figured out that the main problem I had was I was thinking we needed to compare the values SSEC to SSEA on file read, and we don't. We don't need to test the bad value. Let me just open it up. Okay. When we're walking down this list, everything else is a number. It's a positive number, and we can look for a positive number. Or any number. It looks like they're all positive, but in fact, it looks like they're all above 1,000. I think I'm gonna... Okay, so we can test for whether it's a number without having to look at 300. 300 is only there so that we can send on something else. So I'm gonna try this again. Let's, here, get rid of all this bottom part. Okay. So we have a reader. We opened up the thing. We have... Sorry, jumping into the middle of this, if you haven't watched the previous episode, it'd be very, very confusing, I imagine. So, just brief recap. We're opening up this little closed, locked area. Then we're reading a file from it and replacing every instance of SSEC with SSEA. And I am doing that by having one person go in, open up the file, open up the locked area, then they're going to go in, read the file, and send it to somebody else who's going to work on it. So this is kind of my plan. There's going to be a main, there's going to be the sender, there's going to be a receiver, and there's going to be an intermediary. So you are going to create a receiver and an intermediary. And then you're going to go over and start copying values over. Let's prototype these both. So the receiver and the intermediary. And let's go ahead and copy this one up here, because that's the order that's going to actually happen in. So the receiver is going to make a file, and then it's going to have a loop, receiver loop, where all it does is well, first of all, it's going to need to be in local mode. And it's going to copy from M to its file. Well, we're going to want both of these to be over here first, so let's make them both link over to 800. In which case, we can make the intermediate down here. No, we can't. We can't. It's gonna have to happen in here. Because if we put the 300 down here, it's gonna get sucked up, and it's not gonna work. So all the work's gonna have to happen in this one little box here in the middle. Or I guess it could happen back home, but we might as well do it out here. So you're switching to local mode. And you're just going to copy it. Is a problem then. How are we gonna know when to stop copying? So the receiver loop is going to be copy M to X, then test X equals 0, and if true, jump to finalize. Otherwise, copy X to F and jump receiver loop. And then finalize is going to be just link 800, and I think that's where we have to make well, this will be the next main, I think, because this is gonna die when it finishes copying. So link to 800, drop, and then link -1 and jump main. Did I misspell receiver? I did. Excuse me. So now we have to deal with the intermediary. The intermediary is where all the magic's gonna happen. It's gonna be testing to see so intermediary is gonna have its own loop, right? Or is this just gonna be the loop? I think this could just be the loop. We don't need like a preprocessor. So intermediary can go ahead, copy from M to X, and then it's gonna switch modes to local mode. Then test if you have a number. If you have a number, so if X is greater than -1, then just pass it right on. Otherwise, you have to, well, wait a minute. Like, this guy isn't holding anything. So why does it not have the 300? Because it has to read from F. No, that's good. That'll work fine. Yeah, I'm overcomplicating this. So intermediary and intermediate loop. So grab 300. Like, this guy can always hold the 300. Test X greater than -1, which it mostly will be. And if true, well, no. If false, no. If true, jump to copy over. I'm gonna change the mode. I'll put the mode in copy over. So for copy over, we're gonna go mode. We're gonna copy X to F to M, and then mode, and then jump back to the loop. You know, once we have the intermediary out here, do we need to make another one? Kinda no. So let's move this out. I do like having a new receiver every single time. That becomes the main. That's how we link the two together. Which means this guy could be the intermediary. And we can make somebody else be the... I kinda like that. Here, let's go ahead and try it that way. So the intermediary drives it, actually. Well, it's not working. It's working. It's not working. Well, actually, it's not working at all yet. So maybe I'm. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it like this. So you're gonna make an intermediary, and it's gonna be the intermediary for everything. It's gonna sit there. It's gonna hold the 300, and it's gonna be in its loop. Just copying over and over again forever. But the receiver, well, do we want to rate? I think, I think so. I think we'll let the main die, and we'll generate a new one on new file. Do we need to? We kind of don't. We need some way to signal back that we're done, so that it waits. So, it needs to hear back, and then we'll void it, whatever we get, and then jump to main. Well, it'll need to go back 1, 2, and then to get the next file, next track name. We still want to make a. I think that's fine to generate a new receiver all the time. It's cleaner. It won't raise our. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. The intermediary is sticking around. The receiver could be sticking around, I guess. But I think I don't mind doing it this way. So, where were we? You grabbed your file. And, okay, so you just test to see if you have a number, and if you do, you're sending it over. But if you don't have a number, then you're going to copy F into X, and then seek -1 to get back to our, back to the F. Back to the 300. I'm sorry, to reverse 300 so it's pointing at the SSEA again. And then receiver made the file, it's local mode. It's just receiving a bunch of things, and then when it finally gets to 0, it finalizes and then becomes the next main. No, we want it to die, so it just halts right here. Let's see if that works, or let's see where it doesn't work, to be more specific. So the intermediary is out. There's the receiver, and he's making the new file. So the intermediary 9965 is sending to the intermediary. Now 9965, we're seeing that it is greater than -1, so it's a number. So we're just sending it on. We switch to local mode, and we send it to you. And now you're back in your loop. Now you got 9965, and you copied it, and now you're waiting. And it infinite looped. Okay. Where is it getting stuck? You're waiting. Oh, we didn't signal this guy. Yeah, I forgot about that. So for finalize, the intermediary needs to switch modes, copy 1 to M, and then halt. Looks good, but it's not finishing right. Where's it stopping? I'm trying to look for where it bugs. Okay, it was on the 205. You're waiting for a copy. And you're waiting to void something. We never signaled at the end. Alright, let's get to this finalized, so... I'm just looking for the one that fails. That's the one that fails, so... Okay, and the next one never gets to here. So, XA4, you are going to complete correctly, right? No, XA4 is the one that fails the signal. Okay, so you just switched yourself back into global mode, and now you're setting copy 1 into there. And now you're supposed to wait for somebody else. Oh, you're trying to receive already again. Well, you're trying to wait. And in this case, it goes to that one. Why didn't it do that for the first few? That's really weird. I guess it just by chance happened to always go to the right one for a while. Because yeah, it's just sitting there. It doesn't know when to continue. So we could solve that by remaking the intermediary each time. Like I was saying we didn't need to do. Okay, well, let's do that. Let's do that then. So test if it's greater than 0, then you copy it over. Test if it's equal to 0. And you still need to copy over. Because the other guy needs to know to stop also. Oh, I don't really like this. I don't like it. So you just sent a 0 over. That's what we're saying. If you just sent a 0 over, then this guy's busy. He has to link in, switch modes, copy 1. That's 3 actions. This guy has to mode. No, you just sent a 0, so you're here. So you're already back here real fast. Oh, I think we're gonna need to test if it's 0. Okay. So... Nah, I don't like it. I don't like it. Do we want the intermediary sending the signal? That would make it slower than this. But that, it's mostly not gonna happen. I mean, well, we're testing it for it over here too. Okay, fine. I'm gonna go ahead and do it, even though I don't like it. That's fine. So test if it's 0, and if it is, send a signal. So this guy never has to switch its mode. It's always going to be in local. We should switch this around. So F jump. F jump, go to the intermediary loop. Otherwise, copy 1 to M and then go to the intermediary loop. I think that makes sense. So all the communication over the global M will be between these two. The main and the intermediary. Let's see if this works. No, it didn't work. So intermediary. Or I have to see if this is greater than -0 again. Or -1. -0, I'd say. As if that made any sense at all. There. Okay, it's working. Let's see if it's any faster. That's the real challenge. I know it's gonna have less activity because we're not moving around as much. We're still gonna be moving around a bit though. We always are going over this in every single one of those. We couldn't figure out a way to make it so that the receiver sits over here all the time. I guess we could do all the work there. It's a little bit faster. It's better than our previous one, but still it's worse than the rest of the world. So we didn't want to put it down. We didn't do the work over here because we didn't want to put down the 300. But now we're not putting down the 300. We're not letting the intermediary die. So we could do all the work down here. Let's do that. Let's do that. So the intermediary is going to grab the 300 and link 800. And then you don't need... Wait a minute. You don't need... Well... We're still gonna need to go back and forth with the first dude. You don't need a link forward anymore, you just need a halt. Like, we could just kill you instead. When we get to a 0. Then we don't need to signal back to you because you're just sitting there waiting. So the intermediary will kill the receiver when it gets a 0. If f equals 0, then kill. And this won't need a void anymore. And then the receiver doesn't need to test if it's 0. It'll find out. It can just copy straight into the file. I think that'll be faster. Let's see. Let's see if it works. It doesn't work. It doesn't even reach here. So copy over. Here, you send a, when you send a 0, let's see what happens. It doesn't reach there. Interesting. That's weird. Are they not ending up in the right spots? They're not. This guy, the receiver's in the wrong spot. XAO1 receiver. Yeah, you need to link 800. Error. So many errors. Okay, let's just take a look at this. So right now, no, let's find a better place. So right before we're about to send the kill command. That shouldn't happen. There should never be 2 of these over here. Well, actually, there could be 2 of those over there. That's what the communication was about. So maybe we do need to wait. Yeah. So when you copy a 0 to M, expect something back, and then void it. And then the intermediary, when you kill, where you're killing, there, you're gonna copy -1 to M. Still not working. Okay, so let's see what we got. Right now, you have a file, it's got a 0 at the end. That's the issue. We're somehow copying the 0 in. So, yeah, when you get a 0, you don't need to copy the 0 over. The intermediary. Okay, so we get a 0, then we need to kill. If we get something that's not a 0, we need to send it on. So I think we need this down here. Here. So test to see if it's a 0. If it is, then if it's not, then you send on. If it is, then you kill it. You send something back to the to main to keep going, and then you continue your loop. I think that'll work better. Looks like it. Oh, I don't know. It seems like it's slower than the previous run. I'm thinking that we did not improve. No, we got worse. We were at 9774. Well, damn. I mean, there's people are getting way up faster than me. I don't know how. What am I doing wrong? Like, we're thousands of cycles behind. It's not even like we're like a few off per loop. We're thousands behind. And I'm not seeing a way to like have two of them running at once. Like, even if we could get all the communication working right, that's just not going to happen. I mean, this is as simple as you can get it. You read a value, you send it over, you see if it's a good value. If it is, you send it over. And then you write it. Could we get away with not having the callback? Like, does it need to... Why do we need it to wait for me to drop the file before it starts sending in the next file? Because everything else is going to be in local mode. And the intermediary doesn't have, like... The intermediary is going to be busy. It's not going to be sitting around trying to read from you. Let's try getting rid of this step. So get rid of the void M. And have the intermediary not even check for zeros. No, intermediary still needs to check for zeros. And we still need to deal with zeros. We just don't need to reply back. And does the intermediary need to stop for zeros? Check for zeros? Can we make the replier check for zeros? Receiver check for zeros? Like, this whole copy over send on thing is stupid. And switching the mode back and forth all the time is annoying. But I think that's not something that's fixable. But we could probably get rid of the kill, and that would make it so we don't need to create a replica all the time. So let's say we're gonna keep the receiver alive the entire time. That would mean that the receiver needs to check for zeros. So the intermediary is just gonna send these on, so it doesn't need to test for zero. It just needs to do this. Okay. Then the receiver needs to test to see if the thing it's receiving. So we're gonna need to copy it into X, and then copy it further into F. And we need to test to see if it's 0, and if it is, to finalize. And finalizing in this case means drop in the file, making a new one, and jumping to receiver loop. Right? Let's see how that performs. We're doing a lot less of that replicating, so I'm hoping it'll be faster. We do still have some activity here. We could avoid more linking by having a dispatcher, like right here, that will keep on sending him the track that he's supposed to be reading. Hey, I think we found the popular solution. Okay, that makes me feel good. We could optimize from that, like I was saying. We could try to have a dispatcher that would send him which file to read next. But I'm feeling good about this. I feel like we managed to bring it down from 10,000 to 8,400, and that brought us to the average. So we did a C+ job there. So we've got another optional hack match, and then we have a meeting with Nibas. Although, honestly, we've already gone a half hour. I think I will just go ahead and stop the episode here. So my apologies for going back and spending another whole entire episode on this Wonderdisc thing, but I needed to get that solution, and, you know, just to feel good about myself. Thank you everyone for watching. Until next time.